Hello friends, this is tutorial number 73 in this C++ programming language course. In this tutorial we will talk about templates. And let's start with one class. We will create one class. We will create it here. It will be, the name of the class will be triple. And for example, we can have three members: integer x, integer y, and integer z. For example, it will be a class that will contain three numbers, for example. And in this case will be an integer, but maybe we will need to create another object, triple, for example, from three float or double numbers, or maybe we will need a class of the three boolean members. And we can do this, but we need to create a class triple float or triple double or triple bool, or maybe if we want string members to be triple string, and it can be complicated and time consuming. And how can we create, we want to create one class, and for example we can create a different object triple from different data types. And to do that we will use templates. Here we will write template, and here we will need a lesser and greater sign as a body, and we need to type class T, and this T will be a template. For example, we don't know which object we will create. We need to create maybe a couple of objects with different data types, and for that we will use template. And here it will not be integer. We will type T, which is template. Instead of data type, we will use template. And now we will create get and set function for all of these members. First, let's write public, and let's create a void set x function. It will have a parameter which will be x, and of course again we will type, it will be a template. We will use a template T, x, and we will write this x will be equal to x. Now let's create get function. We will also use a template T, get x, and we will return x. Now we also need a get and set function from another two members. I will just copy this, I will paste it. Now we need a set and get y, set y, and we will have y as a parameter, and we will write this y will be equals to y, and also here it will be get y function, and we will return y. Now I will paste once more to create get and set function for the z member. We will write set z, we'll have z as a parameter, and here we will type z instead of x, and also we need GetSet function. Okay, we have created get and set function for all of these members, and we want to create, for example, one void function. It will be display. We want to display all of the members. We will use cout. We will write x equals x, y equals to y, and also we will print z. Okay, that should be fine. We have created our class. Now we can just see if everything is okay. We will just build and run to see if everything works properly. Okay, hello world. We will just delete this hello world. We don't need it. Now we have our class and we want to create an object. We will create triple. The name can be T1, for example. And now we want to set all of the fields. We have 3 members. Now let's set x, y, and z. And we want, for example, integer members. Okay, set x will be 20. Now we will set y, it can be 10. And we will set z 50, for example. It will be okay. All of the members are integers. And now we want to display this triple object, and if we run this, we will get an error because we have missing template arguments before name. We need to write. The problem is we need to write which data type will be this object T1. For example, we are using integers. Because we have here template class T, and this means that we need to write here which data type will be. We need to write integer, and this means that this integer will replace template T in this object T1. Now if we run this program, it should work properly. As you can see, we have x equals to 20, y equals to 10, and z equals to 15. This means that we have our object template object. We have object of integers. Integer replaced template T, and also we can create another object. For example, triple of float. We will call it T2, and let's set x. It will be 5.23. We will set y. It can be 5.03, and let's set z. It can be float number again, 4.12, because this is a template of float. And now we can just write one statement. triple T2, we will print it, and now we will call a function display. Now let's see if it will work properly. As you can see, we have here triple T2, and here it is: x equals to 5.23, y equals to 5.03, and z equals to 4.12. And this is advantage of template. We can create object from the same class with different data types. But in this case, of course, we also can create another triple with string elements or boolean and so on. But for example, here, if we want to change, we will change the z and we will use, for example, string. But I need to, if we will use string, I will include string from the C++ library. Now I want just to change that. Z will be John, for example. And I want to run this program now, and I will have an error because no magic function, because here this T2 object is a float. This means that float will replace template T, and we cannot use string. For example, if we have here if I change here T1, if I can change Z to float, for example 18.77, it will work, but it will display only 18 because here is we have a triple of integer. If I run it again, but it will not work properly. Okay, I will comment this T2. As you can see, it works properly, but because it's displaying only 18 because this is T1 is a triple of the integer and members will be only integer, and this 18.77 will not be displayed, it will be displayed only 18. If we want to float numbers to be displayed, it needs to be a triple of the float or double, but we can, of course, if we are using string, it will not work. And how can we do to create a triple of, we have in this case 3 members, but we want different data types. Okay, we can do this, but we need another template. For example, we have class T. Now we will write comma and we will write class V. And we will change some member. For example, we want to change y. Instead of template T, we will use template V. And also we need to change it. We need to change set y. It will be V. And also get y. We need to change it to the template V. Okay, I will delete this. We will use this template. We will just use this template, this object triple T1 of integer. And also, okay, I can delete it all. We will create another triple object of if we use only integer t1. And now, for example, we want to use we will use set x, for example. It will be an integer 3. And epsilon we want to be a float. We will type 5.34 and we will set z, for example, 8. And we want to display this object triple, and if we run, of course, we will have an error because we have here triple of integer. Integer will replace t, but we also need to add another data type for another template, for the template v, and we need to use a comma, and we will write float. And this means we have two templates, t and v, and integer will replace t and float will replace template v. These two templates. For example, if we have 3 templates, we need to write 3 data types. And now if we build and run this, as you can see, here it is, x equals to 3, epsilon equals to 5.34 and z equals to 8. Because we use this, we have template t, and here which will be replaced with integer. This means we have two t members, x and z, and they will be integer. And here we have template v, which member epsilon is with template v, and this is replaced with float. Of course, we can use integer or string float or boolean float. You can choose data type which will you need for this. And also we can of course we have 3 members here, and all members can be different. For example, we will add another template, class w. We have third template, and here we want to change member z. Instead of template t, we will use template w. And we also need to change set and GetSet function. Here we need to use template w, and here also we will use template w. And we can change this template. Now third member will be, for example, string. But here we have, if we run it now, we set z as integer. Of course, if we run this now, it will not work because z should be string, because we have 3 templates, integer, float and string. And this means that integer will replace t, float will replace v, and w will string will replace the w. This, and we have a z as a w, which will be replaced by string. This means that z member should be a string. Now we will write John, and if we run it now, it will work properly. As you can see, we have x, which is integer, which is 3. We have a float member epsilon, which is 5.34, and we have a z member, which is string, and it's John. As you can see, You can use as many templates as you want, and also you can use data type which you want or which you will need. And also template can be replaced by the object too. I will show you that. Now I can just delete this. For example, we can create another triple. It will be triple of float. First member will be float. Another also can be float. And the third template, because we have three templates, T, V and W. T will be float, V will be float, and W will be also a triple. And it will be triple of integer members. All of the members will be integer. And the name of the template will be T1. And now we need to create a triple of three integer members. It will be integer, 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 and we will call this template temp. And now we will set x, y, and z of this template triple object. Okay, this will be a template of three integer members. We will set x, for example, 7. We will set y 12. And we will set z to 4. Okay, which should be easy. We have a template of three integer members, and we set all of these three members to some integer values. And now we want to set the values of this triple T1. First we will set x, and we have x is a float. We will write 3.75, for example. T will be replaced by the float, and x member is a T. We have now template V, which will be replaced by float, and y member is V, and which will be replaced by float. And now we will set y. We will use some float number 2.85. And we have the third member will be a triple. We have template W, which is Z member is with W template, and W will be replaced by triple object, and we will use this triple object of integer. We have triple object of integer temp, and now we will set Z member of the triple T1, and it needs to be a triple of integer object. We will use temp. We will set Z, and we will use temp object. And now we want to display all of these members. We will not use display function, we will write it manually. First, let's display. We will use T1 triple. We want to display all of the values. T1 will display T1 get X, which should be 3.75. Now we will need some space, and now we will also print get Y, which should be 2.85. And now we also want to display to print a Z member, but Z member is a triple. And what this means? This means that this triple also have a members, three members, X, Y, and Z. Now, and we will print T1.getZ, and we need also to use get X, because this is a temp and also have three members. And this T1 get Z and get X, it will be number 7. It will be X of the triple temp. Now we will need a little space, or I can print it. Okay, we will need a little space, and now we will continue printing. Now we will print T1 dot get Z, which is a triple, and now we will need to print get Y. In this case, because we are using triple temp, and we want to print Y of this triple, which will be 12 in this case. And now we need to print T1 dot get Z, and also we will print get Z of this triple. Okay, we don't need space anymore, and it should be printed. Okay, we are printing elements of triple T1. T1.getX, which is float, it will be 3.75. We will also print Y of this triple, which is 2.85. But Z is a triple object of three integer elements. And when we print T1 get Z and get Y, it will be get Z get X, it will be X of the temp object, which should be 7. Get Z get Y will be 12, and get Z will be 4. These 5 numbers should be printed. Let's try to print it. Okay, we have an okay, I don't need a lesser sign here, my mistake. Now let's print it. As you can see, here it is, 3.75, 2.85, 7, 12, and 4. We have all of 5 numbers are displayed here, and it works properly. As you can see, template also can be replaced by any data type, string, float, double, boolean, but also can be replaced by an object. Okay, it's not maybe it's not so easy, but I tried to explain you as best I can, and I'm sure that you will understand this good. With it requires a little of practice, but I'm pretty much sure that you will understand it, and you will know how to use a template, because it can be very useful in the future. I really hope that you understand and that you like this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram. You have a link in the description, and I will see you in the next tutorial.